Put your hand on it. Not like hold it. Now say, talk to me.
You're listening to the Fun with Horror podcast with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Scotty.
And welcome to episode 102 of Fun with Horror, the movie review podcast in which two long-distance best friends stay in touch by taking turns giving each other horror movies to watch and discuss.
Last episode, it was my pick, and I chose the very recent Talk to Me, directed by Danny and Michael Philippou, written by Danny Philippou and Bill Hinzman, based on a concept by Daley Pearson, and starring Sophie Wilde, Joe Bird, Alexandra Jensen, Miranda Otto, Zoe Terakes, and Chris Olosio. And of course, stay tuned to the end of this episode to hear what we're doing next for a special bonus episode. But for now, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
It's so great to hear your voice.
I honestly haven't talked to you since 2 weeks ago when we recorded last. So
I know. Life is crazy, man.
It is crazy. Happy October, though.
Yes, we're in October. Thank the Lord, man.
We're in October.
I love October.
And let me tell you, buddy, you told me earlier you haven't really been able to get to many spooky season movies.
I know, I'm disappointing myself, buddy. I really am.
It's okay. I think your time is coming.
Good.
I, however, have been watching quite a few, my friend.
Yay, let me live vicariously through you. What have you been watching?
So much. Well, since the last time I talked to you, I watched Saw 3, and then I went to see Saw X in the theater.
Oh yeah, dude! I forgot I saw that.
Yes, and I did like it. I did like it.
Yay! Okay,
but I won't say much more because I have a feeling that might be a mighty nice movie that we do on the podcast.
Okay.
I also saw a movie I mentioned to you that everybody was talking about. No One Will Save You.
Oh,
on Hulu.
Right on. Yeah, yes, that's right.
I demand that you watch that movie.
I heard. Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't spoil anything. I need you to watch it.
Okay. All right.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
All right.
The same night, I actually happened to watch Hell House LLC with the lights out, headphones on. And let me tell you something, buddy, that was an interesting viewing because a while back I was watching it, turning on Shudder, actually. And the end of the movie was playing on the live Shudder stream. It came from Shudder. I wasn't that impressed. I thought this is a little chaotic. But you know what? It's actually very much worth watching.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, this is one I've been very curious about because I see people post about it all the time. And I'm like, I don't know. I know nothing about this series. Nothing. And I do know a new one's coming out, I think, this month.
Yeah, the end of the month.
Yeah. So
basically it's found footage, and it's about a group of young people who tour around this Hell House haunt every year, and they go someplace different, and it's a very popular haunt. And the year that they're doing it in this movie, they go to this town, I think, called Abaddon, and they go into this old decrepit hotel called the Abaddon Hotel. And they actually end up staying there, and weird things start happening. So it's very cool because it mixes putting together a Halloween haunt with a found footage horror movie, and it's really cool.
Ooh, okay. I'm down to watch it, man. It sounds interesting.
Also, oh man, dude, yesterday I had a heck of a day.
Lay it on me.
I watched the old It miniseries
Yeah, dude. With Tim
I
Curry?
watched with Tim Curry.
Yeah,
First
dude.
time I've seen it since it aired on TV.
No way.
Yeah. It was much better than I gave it credit for.
Okay.
I think back then I was slightly disappointed that it didn't follow the movie even more than it did, but it actually follows it pretty well.
Okay.
I was also very disappointed in the design of the creature at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
miniseries. And
I know
I
which
think
one you're talking.
yeah, I think that overpowered the rest of the entire series, but I didn't let it overpower yesterday, and I just there's just so much good stuff in it.
Nice.
But then, my friend,
Yeah.
as soon as that ended, I watched It Chapter 1 again,
Yeah.
which remains at this time my favorite horror movie of all time. I love it so
dude.
much.
That's awesome. That movie is so much fun. Oh my gosh.
I definitely plan on watching part 2 tonight, even though Pet Cemetery Bloodlines is released today.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot that's released right now. Haunted Mansion is on Disney Plus.
Yeah, dude.
I want to watch that.
Chucky,
Spirit-
I think, starts soon.
Chucky started. It already started.
Oh, it started? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's just episode 1.
Right.
Also, this weekend, guess what I'm going to go see, buddy?
What are you seeing?
Exorcist Believer.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to see, there's been a lot of conversation about this movie.
I haven't read much, but I've seen some headlines and I'm like, okay. It seems divisive.
Yeah.
Is that the word? Yeah.
Decisive and divisive.
Decisive and divisive. Yeah. We'll use both. So I'm very curious about that one and curious to hear what you think.
I also have some lice and a sieve.
You have what?
Decisive, divisive, lice and a sieve.
Lice and a sieve?
Yeah, you know, lice in a
Lice,
sieve.
yeah. And a sieve.
Talk to me.
Yo, check this out.
I swear it's fake.
I don't know.
It's 1000% true.
How would Haley fake that? Why would they?
Why would they? They're in attention war. They're trying to get everyone to go to their house and talk about them, and you've fallen for it.
Alrighty. As everyone knows when they listen to this podcast, we are about to spoil Talk to Me. So if you have not seen this movie, now is the time to pause the podcast, go watch it, and come back. But if you're okay with spoilers, stick around. And Scotty, we have a 3-minute recap for this coming up.
Oh boy.
I want you to know though that if you don't do it in 3 minutes, let's just say I found something ceramic. I used it, and
Oh no.
oh no. Let's just say you want to get this done in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh Lord. Anyway, whenever you're ready, buddy.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Okay, so Talk to Me centers around Mia, who recently lost her mom about a year prior to the start of the movie. It also centers around this party game that's going around where there's a ceramic hand on a table and somebody is supposed to shake that hand or put their hand in that ceramic hand and say, "Talk to me." When they do, a dead person appears in front of them. And when they say, "I let you in," that dead person possesses them. The rules are that they have to break contact with the hand in under 90 seconds, or the dead person will want to stay. And they also have to light a candle beforehand and blow it out afterwards to cut the connection. Well, at a party, Mia decides to do this with the hand, and she invites this dead spirit in. It's very creepy, and she goes a little bit over 90 seconds. We get a couple small signs afterwards that the spirit is not quite gone, even though it might seem to be. Also, Mia becomes slightly addicted to the feeling that it gives her when she holds the hand. So she asks Haley and Joss to bring the hand over to her friend Jade's house, where they're all going to do it. Jade's boyfriend wants to try the hand as well, so they do it. So begins a lot of people, little montage of all these young people doing the hand thing. And finally, young Riley, who I believe is about 11 or 13,
Something like that, yeah.
he wants to do it. Jade, his sister, says no, by no means, and ends up leaving the room in frustration. Mia says it's okay. So Riley does it. The spirit he sees happens to be Mia's dead mom and talks to her. When they try to stop Riley, Mia says, no, it's my mom. Don't stop him. And then suddenly things take a turn for the dark and Riley starts smashing his head into a table and then onto the edge of a desk. He ends up mutilating his entire face, going to the hospital. So then Mia eventually reaches out. She has a way. She thinks she knows a way of getting Riley disconnected with the spirits. So they go into the hospital. They put the hand in Riley, and they blow out a candle, but nothing seems to happen. Meanwhile, Mia's being visited by all these spirits. She ends up accidentally stabbing her father in the neck because she thinks he's an evil, malevolent spirit. The spirits are also telling her that she needs to kill Riley to put him out of his suffering. So she plays a trick on Jade, who is at the hospital. Even though Jade says Riley is improving, Mia goes to the hospital, sends Jade to her house, where Jade eventually finds her dad, who is still alive. Mia gets Riley, steals him, takes him out, and she plans to shove Riley into traffic to kill him. Jade comes back to the hospital. She's chasing after Mia. All of a sudden, you see from the point of view inside a car, you see a body hit the windshield, and it is Mia. Mia gets up, scraped very badly from getting hit by a car. And then you see Jade holding Riley, and then Mia's suddenly in the hospital. Everything is getting dark. Time seems to have passed. Riley is better. Her dad is walking through the hospital, and then things just get dark, black. The next thing, she sees a candlelight, and then a hand reaches out. Mia reaches out and holds the hand, and then suddenly she sees a bunch of people who are playing the talk to me game with the ceramic hand, and the guy says, I let you in. And the movie ends. That's the end.
That was, I think, honestly, the best recap you've given. And it was just under 3 minutes, which is perfect. But you gave everything, dude. That was really good. And what's crazy is you didn't even stumble, really. There was no like I do.
I stumbled a couple of times.
But it was really good, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm proud of you, man. That was perfect.
Well, that's what happens after you watch this movie 3 times almost. 2.5. Let's say 2.5.
That's fair. Well, then I feel like I may know the answer, but I'm going to ask it because the world needs to know. What did you think of Talk to Me?
Well, that's an interesting question, my friend, because as you know, we've been watching a few movies that I've been extremely thrilled at.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Cobweb. I thought that was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I loved The Boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was maybe the best horror movie of the year so far.
Right.
Then I watched No One Will Save You, which I thought was excellent, tremendous.
Nice.
So then I watched Talk to Me, which Talk to Me has been very talked about.
Right. Talk to me about it.
Yes, in the horror movie community.
Mm.
Upon my first viewing, I thought it was a very extremely well done movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very good. But after watching a bunch of movies that were like fun horror movies to watch, I felt this one felt very dark and oppressive to me.
Okay.
I didn't feel it was a lot of fun. And so my first impression was I liked it a lot. I may not have liked it as much as some other people, but I did like it a lot. I just thought it was a little oppressive.
Okay.
This changed a little bit upon my second viewing.
Okay.
Because on my second viewing, I started to get more into the inner meanings of the movie. I watched it from a different point of view, watching the characters and all. And now I can confidently say that this is also one of the best horror movies of the year for me.
Nice.
So what did you think, buddy?
Oh man, I was nervous where you're going with that because I think hands down for me, this is the best horror movie of the year for me.
Nice.
I think this movie is perfect. I think it's phenomenal.
Wow.
I think it's phenomenal.
Fun.
Man, I'm excited to talk about it. I took a lot of notes.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
I
good.
loved this movie, man. Loved it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have any faults with this movie.
I don't. I'll tell you that right now. It is, to me, it was perfect. I have zero quibbles.
Quibbles, yeah. I
None.
don't think I had any quibbles either. It was just the feeling the movie gave me after the first time.
Right.
It was just more of a depressing, oppressive feeling than
Mm-hmm.
other movies that have just kind of been fun to get through and to watch.
I get that.
So, yeah, I mean, let's get into it. Boy, oh boy. How about that opening party scene?
Dude, fantastic. I thought one, I did not know that this took place in, is it Australia or is it
Australia?
Is it Australia? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So going in, I was like, oh, cool. I love that because I love hearing everyone's accent as well. I think it's great. But it was nice to see kind of a new scenery, new situation, new place. So I liked that. I thought the party was excellent. I thought it was a great way to start the show.
Single shot.
Yeah, single shot, which I always love. I always love a single shot if it's done well, and that one was done very well. And then the ending of that scene too is just horrific, but brilliant.
Yes. I'm playing the movie in the background.
I know.
For those that
Like-
can't tell why Andrew's laughing. And I started to move the camera more towards it, but I realized that it'll probably start distracting us.
Yeah, I know. I'll be
movie.
sitting there like getting zoned out to it again.
Especially
Yeah.
because it's at the big montage scene.
Oh, so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I loved that opening scene, especially the second time. Things hit me differently the second time I watched this movie for sure.
Oh, sure.
The-
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, it was like, okay, so here's another horror movie
Mm.
where we open with something shocking to really put a jolt into the audience.
Right.
And they sure as heck did. But the second time I was able to look past the structure of the movie and what's been done before and what hasn't been done before,
Mm-hmm.
and really enjoy what the movie was doing. And the first time I didn't notice it was a single take.
Mm-hmm.
Second time I did.
Nice.
Also, the directors, I didn't watch the entire commentary track because one thing they said at the beginning of the commentary track is that they weren't going to talk about thematic material because they wanted to leave that up to the interpretation of the audience.
Okay.
They didn't want to tell people what they thought it was about. They want to let audiences wonder what they think it's about.
I woke up thinking about that this morning before
my
knowing
God.
we were doing the podcast.
I'm sorry.
No, just the themes and what it was. Yeah, I just hit me differently for some reason this morning. I went, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
According to the directors, I have not been able to find them, but different cast members from the main body of the movie are disguised at that party. Sophie Wilde as Mia is at the party. Joe Bird as Riley, but they're not as Mia or Riley. They're just hidden throughout in the party.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
very, very cool.
That's super cool.
And then after that, so I mean, I don't really want to go point for point through this movie, but you kind of have to.
I know. I was thinking that too with this one.
I like the cinematography a lot. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about. The cinematography was beautiful.
It was.
Aaron McLisky, who has done Mr. In Between and the movie Poker Face, not the TV series, but the movie, I believe, with Russell Crowe, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I don't know it.
but yeah, they had some very cool choices, one of which was after the funeral, how Mia is washing the dishes and her dad is behind her, but stays completely out of focus.
Yes. Yep. I know exactly what
And
you're talking about.
The directors purposely made Mia's house feel sterile, like a morgue, and made Jade's house feel warmer, like a more familial feeling.
That's totally true. I now that I think about it, her washing the dishes, it's a darker, almost like a blue filter. And then when we go to Jade's house, I can feel like it's an orange filter or something. You know what I mean? That's totally, good idea. That's awesome. That's really cool.
So let's get straight into some of the meanings, because that's what really kind of turned the tide for me on liking the movie into loving the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you feel were some of the metaphors or meanings? Did you pick up on anything?
So to me, I thought this movie again was about grief, and which to me, this one worked better for me than a movie we recently watched about grief as well.
Boogeyman.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, we can say it.
Okay. But this one, so to me, this movie is about grief. People grieve in different ways, but I've seen some people grieve with addictions. And so the way I looked at the possession, if you will, because it's like a drug. I mean, Mia wants it. It feels good. So I looked at that almost like this drug addiction after this, while grieving after this horrible thing that's happened. And then going one step further, and maybe this is all wrong, I don't know, but it's how I felt. You know, when she is possessed that first time, we see what she did a phenomenal job, by the way, which we'll talk about. But where we see her as this demon creature, you know, kind of freaking out. It's almost like when people do get those addictions and they get that drug inside of them, they become something different. They become someone else. So that was how I looked at this, was that this whole thing is essentially sort of a drug to get over this grief, but then it takes over and kind of controls you. If that makes sense.
No, like the director said, it's up to interpretation. I felt like the grief was the base of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the grief, whereas in the Boogeyman, I felt that there were some things about the creature in the movie that was a metaphor for grief. This one, I felt the grief was the story, but the metaphor was addiction.
Nice, yeah.
Honestly, the more I thought about that, the second time I was watching this movie, the more I was watching every single scene from the point of view of watching somebody who is addicted to drugs.
Wow. Yeah.
And how the addiction begins to control them, and every little thing. I could not stop seeing the metaphor and the allegory. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, but like you said, it's the grief that kind of drives her to it.
Right.
There's some hints, like Miranda Otto's character Sue mentions to Mia that she knows she's done stuff in the past. Like
that's right.
She says some things, but then there's also the thing where how a drug addict eventually starts to alienate themselves from everybody.
Oh, good point. Yep.
Which is what Mia ended up doing with the hand. And also how the drugs make you think people are a different thing. Like the whole part with Mia, the dead spirits, making her believe she was seeing things that she wasn't, or that somebody was going through something that they weren't, like telling her that Riley needed to be put out of his misery because he was suffering, when in reality he was getting better. But it was the spirits / drugs, the addiction, that was telling Mia that these things that weren't true were happening.
Man, that's very good. Man,
I could go scene by scene and just talk about the metaphor that each scene has for drug addiction. I mean, there's even the party scene, the montage where everybody's trying it. It felt to me like being at a party where everybody's trying like nitrous or something, or some crazy drug that has a short effect on somebody. And then there's always one person that like doesn't want the party to end. They want to take it home, and they know they shouldn't do the drug by themselves away from other people, but they have to because it just has a hold of them.
Man, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Eesh, this movie. Man, good points though. My gosh.
Thank you.
I love that. Oh.
So her mom, we get the backstory that her mom died in her bedroom. Her dad was trying to get into the bedroom, and he couldn't. The door was locked, and by the time he got in, it was too late. The mom was dead. And there's a mystery as to what killed the mom for a long time. That's the other thing about addiction. There you go. near the end of the movie, the dad actually brings out a suicide note that her mom wrote, but Mia refuses to believe it.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe something her mom actually wrote and said. She believes the demons over that.
Man. Oh my gosh.
So I bring up the mom in the room because everybody talks about how she was scratching at the door. Did you notice that throughout all the movie, whenever Mia would start to go into, I guess, the spirit world, she'd hear a scratching sound?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she would always, it was brought back throughout the entire movie, just a scratching sound, and it was just so eerie and creepy.
Oh my gosh. This movie just gets better. Oh my gosh.
This one is really rewarding a second viewing. Honestly.
Oh, I really do. Honestly, this is one where I'm like, I could watch that today. Absolutely. Right now.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, we have an animal scene that was very difficult to watch.
Yeah.
Because we always warn about animals in distress or animal abuse. It's not animal abuse, but basically Mia and Riley are driving. They're having a great time singing Chandelier out loud.
Yes.
And then Mia stops and you hear the noise before you see what it is. And it's something that probably is seen in Australia quite a bit that I didn't even think about. But there's a kangaroo in the middle of the road that's been hit by a car and is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And I would absolutely hate that scene if it didn't have such huge meaning for the end of the movie. And what happens at the end of the movie.
Totally. Good point.
Because obviously Riley tells her to put it out of its misery. Mia drives the car towards the kangaroo, intending to run it over again and kill it. And she just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's probably the right thing, she just can't run over this poor kangaroo.
Right.
So then you have the end of the movie where these spirits are telling her to put Riley out of his suffering.
Right.
And she actually sees the kangaroo in the hospital for a second. And she hears the kangaroo when she looks out at the freeway.
Yeah.
So the whole point of her taking Riley to the freeway is that she intends to do what she wasn't able to do before, which is put a suffering creature out of its misery.
Dude.
Which is painful for us, the audience, because we know that Riley is not suffering. He's getting better.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So then what did you think about the ending? Let's just jump right to it. What did you think happened? Because there's actually debate about what actually happens at the end.
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, Cindy and I were talking about it because we watched it together, and we were both like, did she get pushed or did she jump? Or, because she's kind of standing there, and I think that she jumped.
Me too.
And I think even too, we hear her mom or the demon, say something at the end like, he belongs to us now, or something weird. I can't remember what the line is.
I can't either.
Know, but it's something where it kind of clicks that she's like, oh, that's not right. And so I think that was her way of like, the only way I can end this is if I end this. Yeah. And so I think she did that. That being said, that ending was fantastic. I knew it was coming though.
You did?
I will. So when she's walking through the hospital and we see time kind of fast forwarding, I was like, oh, she's a ghost. Like she's going to be, well, not that, but she's going to grab a hand.
Yeah,
she's going to grab a hand. And so when it did, I was like, yeah, I love it. I love it.
But I didn't totally realize what was happening until she was in the hospital and she saw her dad.
True. Yep. I will say it took a second because she even kind of gets up, if I remember right, on the road, like for a second. And you're kind of like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what just happened?
I thought she was like, she had been hit by a car, but she was still alive.
Right.
And maybe I was thinking, maybe the demon got knocked out of her or something,
Right.
Maybe this will knock some sense into her.
Right. Kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, as soon as she was in the hospital, I I was like, she's gonna be the spirit that somebody sees in the
Which is
game.
kind of brilliant, man. It's just I loved it. What did you?
It's absolutely
but I
brilliant.
I thought the ending was perfect. I thought it was great. What did you think?
I thought she jumped too.
Okay,
Because if you watch from inside the car,
Mhm.
you do see for a second, you see Jade after the either that or either oh man, spitting over my words.
Yeah, you're good.
Tripping over my words, not even spitting over my words. I'm just all kerfuffled. I think right before the body hits the car, if you watch for it, you see Jade holding the wheelchair.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think Mia jumped, and I
That
think
makes sense.
Jade grabbed the wheelchair. I think at the very last second, Mia saw clearly and saw what she
Mhm.
was doing and sacrificed herself for Riley.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. I agree. So good though.
Very good.
And I love too that the hand at the end, and I cannot remember what language they're speaking, but I like that we see that it went somewhere else. So this hand has traveled everywhere, which is kind of brilliant too. I thought that was great. I just went, oh my gosh.
I will say, me,
Mhm.
and I like to have like horror memorabilia and stuff. I have my Chucky doll,
Yes.
my very, very realistic looking Chucky doll in the corner.
So good.
And I have other things. I know that they are selling a replica of the hand on the A24 website.
Yep.
I honestly thought about this, and I don't think I would want that in my house. It creeps me out. The hand creeps me out.
That's fair.
I think I'd be
like, yeah, not disfigured, but in just like a creepy pose, like it's eerie. It is eerie. It's really eerie.
Here's something that's really eerie that I noticed the second time.
Oh no.
So the first time that Mia sits down
Mhm.
and she puts her hand in the hand, if
Mhm.
you watch closely, the moment she says talk to me, a couple of the fingers on the hand actually twitch. Like they're holding Mia back. And it's like not holding her back from something, but she's holding the hand and the hand is holding her back, as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah.
But I saw it
That's
even when I was watching part of the commentary, the fingers absolutely twitch. And it's like, oh, come on, dude. So yeah, that scared me a little bit.
That's so creepy.
I definitely don't think I would want that hand in my apartment, even as just a fun prop. It's just too weird and creepy. I don't know. What do you think, buddy? Could you have
I think I would take it, man. I do. I
Man.
think it would be cool. It'd
Well,
be
Merry
a good
Christmas.
conversation starter.
Merry Christmas, Andrew and Cindy.
Thanks, man.
If it wasn't $150.
Hui. Yeshka. Yeah, can't do that.
I love the
but-
story behind the hand too.
Yes, yeah, that it
How-
was. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to remember. They said it was like someone that could speak to the dead, or like a fortune teller, or something.
Right. A medium.
Right. Medium. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That they cut off and then
They
put
cut
the-
off her hand.
Yep, and then put the casing around it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was creepy. Because then
But there's-
it does make you wonder. So there's like a rotting hand under there. Like it's even worse.
I totally wondered I thought at that moment, that at some point in the movie, the hand was going to break and we were going to find out that it
I
was
thought that too.
actual real hand. But
Yep.
But no, they did not do that.
Which is nice. It's kind of nice they didn't do that.
Way to subvert expectations.
Exactly. Well done.
So the acting was phenomenal.
Phenomenal, dude. Oh my
As you said, Sophie Wilde as Mia was fantastic. And like the first time it didn't really hit me, but the second time I was seriously watching her acting during the possession scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And by that same token, Joe Bird as Riley was
Yeah, dude.
also fantastic.
Yes. This cast was great. Like it was. I will say though that Miss Wilde,
Sophie Wilde,
thank you. Everyone is great in this, but she, like I even said this to Cindy, I was like, I can't take my eyes off of her. Like when she enters the scene, she's there and you're watching her because she's just so good. And I hope we see a lot more of her because she's phenomenal.
Oh,
But-
we will.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, everyone, like, this was just a great cast. It was so good.
I also liked the way, I didn't like it, but
Hmm.
her character was so interesting because I was wondering why everybody just seems to hate her. Like nobody liked her.
Right.
Again, something that I didn't really catch until the second time was when we're introduced to Haley and Joss, who are the keepers of the hand.
Yeah.
Haley mentioned something about Mia being very clingy and stuff.
Right.
And I noticed that and I was like, yes, she is very clingy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of Haley, it's a character I didn't like at first
Uh-huh.
because the character is kind of a mean bully type character.
Right.
But they're not really a bully. They're
Right.
just aggressive.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
About things.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe Terakes, I think that's how you pronounce their name.
Yes.
The directors mentioned how they were the very first audition that somebody walked into the audition and that was the person.
Wow.
The moment Zoe walked in and read the lines, the directors said, that is our Haley.
Oh,
They're
good
amazing.
for them. That's awesome.
And then also, it's a little more subtle, but Chris Olosio as Joss is also very, very cool.
I liked.
He's got some reactions, right?
Yeah, I loved him. I think it's the second time. Like the party's fun, but I think it's the second time when we get the montage. He's just acting goofy and having fun. And I was like, that's totally the guy at the party that everyone is like, he's fun to be around. He's like the one that boosts the crowd. You know what I mean? And I was like, I liked that.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked how during that montage, he kind of did the Maori haka type thing with his tongue.
Yep.
Which
I noticed
obviously we know how much the haka has become such a loved expression of strength and emotion. It's amazing. But yeah.
It is. It's awesome.
And then Sue, Miranda Otto as Sue. What'd you think of her? What'd you think of, well, not really the acting, but what'd you think of Sue, the mom, as a character?
So I liked her. I did. And I was waiting for her to be like, I am no man, but she didn't. But
yeah.
Sorry. Terrible. But no, I liked her though. And I liked that she was kind of a tough mom, but also, I mean, she's a mom. She knew kind of things were going on, just was like, wanted them to be careful more than anything, which I'm like, that's a parent, you know, you want your, you know, you can do so much, but the biggest thing, be careful. I want you safe. And I love, she had some witty banter. She was like funny. I liked her. And then I really did enjoy though. And it kind of broke my heart after everything happens with Riley, when Mia goes and sees her and she comes out and kind of lets Mia have it and says like, you're done with us. We're done with you. And it's like, gosh, man, that was like, you're Mia's family right now. Yeah. But she did it so well. And it was like, it'd be tough to do, but you understood it. But man, it broke my heart a bit. That was a tough scene to watch.
But again, it was like watching a mom confront somebody who is hopelessly addicted to drugs.
Right. That's absolutely right. Wow.
Mia's kind of acting. She knows she did something bad, but she's kind of acting like she didn't. And that hopefully everything's just going to be okay. But the moment she goes, Sue, and then Sue's like, no, get away from my family.
Yeah.
But then
yeah,
the other heartbreaking scene, heart-wrenching maybe, is when Mia comes into the hospital with the scissors in her back pocket, and Sue comes in and apologizes to Mia and says, they didn't find a trace of drugs. I know it wasn't your fault. I'm sorry for the way I reacted. Not knowing that Mia is about to take Riley and try and kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, buddy, what about that scene? And oh my God, this was
going to bring it up.
so hard to watch the second time, especially because I knew it was coming. But Riley holds the hand. He gets possessed by Mia's mom, which you're just like, please just let go after 50 seconds.
Yes.
Even when he's asking to do it and they say, How about 50 seconds?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes. But then, of course, I knew the moment he looked up after he said, talk to me, I knew it was her mom.
Me too. I did too. I knew exactly because the way he looked at her, again, phenomenal acting by him. You know it's her.
Even
Like,
before he looked at Mia, though. It was
no,
just
I
like
agree.
the
I
moment
agree.
he looked up, I
Yep.
knew it was going to be her mom.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh.
Because that's what was going to keep him holding the hand.
Yep.
But then, yeah,
Good catalyst,
man,
yeah.
the part where he starts slamming his head into the table, and there's just such a overwhelming feeling of emotion throughout that entire scene because, first of all, it's obviously painful to watch.
Right. Yes.
Especially when he's about to crack his head against the edge of the other desk.
Oh.
But then you know that they frustrated Jade so much that she left the room and Jade was saying no. And Jade's like, and everybody's like, Jade, don't be such a boring sister, blah, blah, blah. And so Jade just is fed up and she leaves the room. And then Mia is the one that says, Riley, it's okay. Go ahead. Just as long as you make it under 50 seconds or whatever. And you just, the moment he started smashing his head, I was like, Mia, you messed up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, that scene was brutal. And I think not only, just watching him beat himself up, but then you get the sound effects, whoever did the sound effects, really every impact you could feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see everyone in the room in shock. It was a scene where, because as the audience, I felt like I was in the room with them. I'm one of these characters at this point, all enjoying this montage, this fun that they're having. To have it then take kind of this abrupt turn to this, it's like all the air is sucked out of the room, and I'm part of that group, and it's phenomenal, but brutal. And then when he tries to take his eye out too, I was like,
my
oh
God.
my gosh.
I totally forgot about that. I forgot about that after the first time. And then when the second time it was happening, I was like, oh man, that happens. That's right. And then I just forgot about it now. Yeah, they stop him, but he almost pulls it out.
He almost gets it out. Oh,
the effect is amazing.
It was very well done because it looked like he was going to do it. I told Sarah, look away, because she doesn't like stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh.
Well, then you have the hospital scene where he's in the shower.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
And he does it again almost. He starts to, what does he do? He hits his head.
He bites her finger or something.
Oh, that's right. He bites her hand. He bites Jade's hand because Jade is helping him.
Yeah.
He bites her hand. Then he falls onto the floor and he starts slamming the back of his head against the bathroom tile, the shower tile.
Yes.
So much that the shower tile cracks, which, I don't know. To me, that says concussion.
Right.
I'm surprised he was alive after that.
Yeah. Oh, that was rough too. And then that blood going in the drain. It was that. Man, this movie was effective.
It was a frustrating scene because the whole time Jade is almost just shocked, silent.
Right.
Also, and I'm just sitting there. Would you freaking yell for help, please?
Yes. Yep.
Like, go grab him or something, but at least yell for help.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oof. And then the other scene that was just crazy was when Mia has the idea to have Riley hold the hand again in the hospital room, and that they're going to blow the candle out this time.
Right.
So they do it a couple times. It doesn't seem to work. So Mia holds the hand and she thinks, and again, this was very much like an addiction, like drug addiction. Like they try the little hit, but it's not enough for Mia. She's got to go further.
Right.
She's got to she makes up an excuse to hold the hand herself.
Oh man, dude.
So, but in the movie, she holds the hand and there's a little girl sitting on the bed and she's asking the little girl where Riley is. And then you see this horrifying scene of all these dead, bloody, sweaty people, like almost like a weird orgy like thing on Riley, and just holding him back and hurting him. And whatever. And it was very, if you watch the quick shots within that scene, there's like a quick shot of one of them eating a baby. And it's like,
Oh, geez.
yeah, I watched closely because I read an interview with the directors and they were saying that originally that shot was a little bit longer, but they had to cut it down due to ratings.
Yeah.
But they said they still snuck in a couple little things. And so I was watching it very closely. And sure enough, like there's one of the dead people is eating a little, like an infant, like a newborn.
Gosh.
It's really horrifying.
That's disturbing.
It also reminded me of Society.
I totally thought I was going to ask you if that. I was thinking the same thing, man. Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, I love that we've watched so many movies by now. This is great.
I love it, dude.
There's the toe sucking scene.
Oh my gosh. Now I knew. So when the
Explain the scene. Explain the scene.
Mia has what's her best friend's name?
Jade.
Jade's not even close. Jade's boyfriend, who used to be Mia's boyfriend.
Right.
Come
Daniel.
over and like stay in the night with her and stay in bed with her. And then of course Mia wakes up in the middle of the night and hears something, and we see a really good shot where she looks in the corner, and of course there's someone there who crawls out and then starts sucking on Mia's ex-boyfriend's toe.
Daniel,
thank you. On Daniel's toes, like his whole foot is in her mouth.
Yeah.
Mia's just sitting there, and then it like cuts for a second, or I can't remember exactly how it transitions, but we see that it's actually Mia sucking the toes. And I did know it was going to be her. Like when we see the demon, I was like, I bet that's Mia doing it. And I was like, I know she's got some stuff going on, so I bet that's her actually doing it. And then when they showed it, I was like, good job, Andrew. But also, yikes.
Good job, buddy.
She's like, yeah, that scene was just messed up. And of course, Daniel wakes up and is like, what is happening? I gotta go. Yeah, really crazy scene, but well done.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then the other scene is obviously before the whole hospital scene, which we've talked about.
Right.
But Mia comes home. Her dad is home. Her dad reads the suicide letter to her, but Mia says no. She goes up to her room and she starts to hear a pounding on the door, right?
Yes.
I forget what she's doing. Is she holding? She's not holding the hand. Is she talking to the hand? Oh, she's talking to her mom.
I was going to say, I think her mom is there at that point.
And that's when her mom is telling her she needs to end Riley's suffering.
Right. That's right.
But then like her dad seemingly starts pounding on her bedroom door, which is also a callback, not a callback, but I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's a simile to him pounding on the door of her mom.
Oh, good
and
call.
In fact, I think because obviously we hear the pounding on the door, but then the camera shows us that her actual dad is still downstairs.
Yeah.
And the second time I watched it, I did notice that he's actually saying the exact same things he said when he was pounding on her mom's door.
Oh,
so
dang.
it's subtle, but it's there. And it's the audio it's basically her dad pounding on her mom's door. And it's that like kind of tore me up inside, to be honest.
Wow, dude. That's dark and horrifying.
Yeah. But then demon father comes into the room and is on top of Mia, choking her, and she grabs the scissors, and that's when her dad comes in the room, and you see it about to happen, and sure enough, Mia brings the scissors up and stabs her dad in the neck.
Yeah. Oh, that was rough.
The only bright part of that is that it seems that her dad survives.
Yes. Yeah, with him in the hospital later.
But now he's got to live without his wife and his daughter. So, man, that's depressing.
And having a daughter that seemingly went crazy kind of towards the end of her life and stabbed her. I mean, man, that yikes almighty.
Yeah. And then, so the other thing I thought was really clever, because Mia is seeing things that other people aren't.
Right.
I liked how when she went into the hospital and she was standing over Riley, you see bite marks on his arm. It didn't faze me the first time I saw it, but the second time I thought, oh, those are the bite marks from the people, the demons. And only Mia is seeing those. He probably doesn't have bite marks on his arm.
Dude.
So, yeah, it's very
Whoa.
interesting.
Wild, man. Huh.
Yeah, I think the rest of my notes that I have are minor notes. They're small notes. I thought that it was interesting. Mia has the nightmare. She mentions having a nightmare of looking in a mirror and there's no reflection.
Right. I remember that.
Which, oh man, that kind of terrified me because when she's dead, she actually has that same experience where she's looking in a mirror and there's no reflection. So the fact that when spirits are stuck in limbo, that they could be reliving their nightmares over and over is terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
But it also explains why the spirits want to stay in these people.
Makes sense.
On a lighter note, how did you like Jade's ringtone? The crazy frog? Ding, 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 ding.
I forgot about that.
I had to look it up. It's an old ringtone called Crazy Frog. That's amazing.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Hang on, I'm going to play it right now.
Ding 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 dum dum bum 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 bum
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome.
So there's that. I love that. I also, oh man, I loved that Jade in her aquarium has axolotls, those little amphibians.
Oh, I know. We want those so bad. They're just so cool, but
I didn't know they were, honestly, I didn't really know they were real. I thought they were a prehistoric creature or something.
No, they're so cute though. They're so
very
cool.
cute.
I love them. I know if we could, we'd get one, but both Cindy and I, as we looked at it and said, "Oh, we want those," we're like, "Gosh, can you imagine how horrible we'd feel if it died?"
Yeah,
like, I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that either. Yeah,
yeah,
my animal empathy is too high for that. Good point. Thank you. I'm never gonna get one now. I also thought it was very nice and creepy when when Mia is Riley's like in bed next to her asking her about her dad, and then he falls asleep watching Jeopardy Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh yeah.
Mia's hand is caressing his hair, and then it goes away for a second, then it comes back and it's like the dead hand caressing him, which is the only real sign that we get that the spirits have not left Mia.
Totally. That's good, dude. Yeah.
Finally, buddy.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the music?
Phenomenal. Like this movie, yeah, it was perfect. I honestly though, like we said, and I'm gonna have you help me because I can't find the name.
Oh, the song.
The song during the montage was so much fun. And actually, I think you posted that song as well on social media or something with our poster.
Oh, I did. I added the song to the advertisement that this was our next episode.
It's just like I listened to that on a walk the other day, and just like it just brought me right to that scene. And it's one of those songs I'd never really heard it, or maybe I had before, I don't know, but it didn't stick with me. Having watched it in this, it's definitely a song. You know, I mean, with all music, if we hear a song, sometimes it'll bring us right back to a memory or right to a movie or, you know, something. This one will now always remain Talk to Me. If I hear it anywhere, I'll go, oh, the scene from Talk to Me. I loved it. I thought I loved that song. And I love the whole score, though. I think it was great.
I'm very confused about the song, actually, because I think in the montage scene, the song is actually a song called La Foule by Edith Piaf. But then in the soundtrack, it's listed as Le Monde by Richard Carter. I don't know if he incorporated La Foule into his song, because Edith Piaf definitely sings in the scene, because it's one thing I loved was how they had Mia singing Edith Piaf's part, like kind of lip syncing it as a demon.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
The scene was so fun.
I also really, really liked the song during the end credits. It seemed like an independent hip hop song called "The Moon Smiled Back at Me" by Sadistic, and
Nice.
especially the second time I heard it, I thought it was a great song. So
Nice.
Sadistic is also a artist that I need to know more of.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
The score itself was done by a composer named Cornel Wilczek, which I've never heard anything he's done.
Mm-mm.
I thought that the score itself was good. It wasn't a score with a theme that you remember after the
Fair.
movie's done, but it fit perfectly into the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But at the same time, the other weird thing about it is, like in other movies, all of the score wasn't him. If you look at the credits, the end credits, which I usually do, there are two pieces of music, one called Possession and one called Kangaroo Hospital, that are credited to somebody named Mark Buys.
Interesting. That's so
And
odd.
These don't seem to be included on the soundtrack. So,
I never get that, because we've talked a little bit about that before.
yeah, it's happened in a few movies that we've watched.
It's so strange. Like, I'm not in that industry, so don't understand it. But
yeah,
it's interesting. I don't know.
But I think that's it for my notes. You're done, right? You don't have any more notes?
No, I think.
Can I ask you 3 questions, my friend?
I think I ask you 3 questions.
Oh wait, it is my movie.
Yeah.
See, you love the movie so much that I feel like it's your movie now. That's wonderful. Okay, you ask me 3 questions.
All right.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
This one's gonna be an interesting one. But what is the best death/kill for Mia? Oh, for Mia.
For Mia. Well,
for Mia. What's the best death/kill?
If you narrow it down like that. Well, okay, so there are 2 deaths in the movie, right? Am I forgetting anybody? I mean, her mom, kind of.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
But Duckett at the beginning.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
And then Mia at the end.
Oh, totally, dude.
It's actually kind of a tough one because Duckett's death is so shocking and fast, and he slams a freaking knife into his face.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, so I thought Mia's was just done so well in the way that initially it doesn't seem like she's dead, but then you quickly realize that she is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the full circle leading to her being the spirit that somebody is talking to when they do talk to me. I'm going to go with Mia.
As you know, I'm also going with Mia since I botched that whole intro.
Because you were reading it, and that's why you said it out loud.
Yeah. So,
what is your favorite Mia or Mia in this Mia?
I'd have to say death. Ah,
Damn it.
All right. Question 2. Was this movie scary?
Interesting. I think this movie is disturbing.
Yeah.
I think to many people that watch this, it will be scary. It wasn't scary to me. As you know, the thing that scares me most is things in the dark. So the moment in Mia's bedroom where she thinks she sees the shape in the corner, that was kind of creepy to me. The rest of the movie was not scary to me, though. And it didn't stick with me afterwards. So, yeah. What about you?
Honestly, exact same as you. It was more disturbing than scary. But yeah, it definitely didn't stick with me. I slept fine that night, you know. But I definitely could see people having some moments with this movie where they're very uneasy. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. I don't know.
I will take it with a grain of salt.
All right.
Where do you think that started from?
I don't know, man.
I'll take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that make it taste better? Is that
right?
Are you making something that you think tastes better?
Do you
or
like
more
flavor?
palatable? Do you like it? I'm gonna say a granule of sugar from now on. I'll
start it up.
Hey, take it with a granule of sugar, if you will.
You know what? Let's see how many people are still listening to this episode by typing on our Facebook a granule of sugar.
Yes.
We want to see it.
If you do, I will message you a picture of me smiling. I'll send you a selfie, just a normal selfie. Just as thank you for listening this far into the episode. Just message either Andrew or myself a granule of sugar, and we will send you a selfie.
Yes, perfect. Done and done. I love it. Oh, this podcast is awesome. All right, question 3, man. Did you have fun with horror?
No, I didn't. This movie's not fun. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah,
I love this question because it doesn't mean it's not a great movie. It's a fantastic horror movie,
right?
In my opinion, but
right.
I did not have fun at all watching this. I was depressed after it ended. And I watched something else after. I can't even remember, but I had to watch something else because I was just, I felt so dark and down. What about you? Did you have fun with horror?
I kind of did, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I was wondering if other people would.
Yeah, no, I think like afterward, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just because I had a conversation with Cindy right after, and I was just like, we talked about it for a bit, you know, and it was like, man, that was an incredible movie. So I think that was why it was kind of fun. But there was just, it's just a phenomenal movie, in my opinion. I thought it was great. And it's one I'm very excited to see again. So I would say I did have fun with it, but it is a disturbing movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
by the way, this entire podcast has been brought to you by caffeine. I am caffeinated, my friend. So please talk to me.
Talk to me?
So where'd you get it from anyway?
I'll tell you what it is, right? It's the hand of a psychic. Got cut off and embalmed. Legit?
It's a medium, Joss, not a psychic.
Yeah, this isn't an embalmed hand.
Yes, it is, Danny boy. See, look, the ceramic shit is put over it, but if you smash it, there's an actual hand in there.
You're full of shit.
I'm serious. Apparently it was the hand of someone who could connect with the dead, right? So everyone around him thought, let's just cut his hand off.
Okay, so Andrew is gone, and now I am joined by our old friend and sometimes co-host, Stanley. Hi, Stanley.
Hey, Scotty.
Oh my God, it's so good to hear your voice.
It's so good to hear your voice. I'm so happy to be here.
So everybody, if you've been longtime listeners of Fun with Horror, Stanley joined me in our second year for our episode about Tenebrae. And then he also joined me for our Friday the 13th Part 2 episode, which is amazing. But before we get to what you and I are watching together, what did you think of Talk to Me? You saw it, right?
I did. I saw Talk to Me when it came out in theaters. I think it was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters.
August for sure.
There we go. Yeah.
So what did you think of it?
I liked it. It was a good take on the possession genre, I think.
Do you think it's one of the best horror movies of the year?
I do not. I mean, there are better movies out there, but again, I liked what they did with it. I think A24 has a tendency to overhype a lot of the movies that they release, but it was good. It was worth watching. I think I have to revisit it to maybe give you a better opinion on it, but
that's fine. Real quick, can you, off the top of your head, name your favorite horror movie of this year so far?
Of this year, off the top of my head, oh God, no. I want to say that it's going to be Pet Sematary Bloodlines.
You haven't even seen it yet.
But I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to say that's it because I can't think of anything. So that's it.
What about Scream 6?
Oh, fuck. You know what? I really loved Scream 6, but I don't think that was the one.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked Scream 5 better than Scream 6.
Well, I'm going to ask you again at the end of the year, and you better have an answer for me.
I don't know why I feel like I've seen nothing all of a sudden. That's so weird.
But today, this episode is airing, and in 4 days, we are going to have a very special bonus episode. As we do on Friday the 13th, we're going to review another Friday the 13th movie. Stanley's going to join me. And that's Stanley, right. Which one are we doing?
Part 3, baby.
Part 3. It's it remains to be seen whether I'm going to get to watch it in 3D again, but I'm hoping to.
I will not be watching it in 3D.
I still have a 3D TV. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
So we'll see if I have time. But yeah, that's Friday. Also, Stanley, something amazing has happened since the last time we really talked. You mentioned it in our 100th episode when you sent us that beautiful soundbite, that little message that was included with others. That was such a beautiful message. Thank you again.
Of course. Congratulations again, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, you have a new podcast.
I do.
Tell us quickly about it.
Yeah, so as a lot of you might know, I was doing the video blog for a while, Stanley Boy Reviews, but now my boyfriend Alex and I have started a podcast called The Gory Gays, where we are reviewing horror films. And so basically, I'm just on that platform now, the podcast platform, and I'm sharing it with him. So
that's amazing.
That's it. Yeah,
and it's a great podcast.
That's nice of you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I really like it.
Scary to make changes, so yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'm a little prejudiced because you're such a good friend.
Oh, you know what? I'll take it.
But at the same time, yeah, you played the first episode for me and I gave you honest feedback. I really liked it, but at the same time, I was able to give you small critiques. So
which I definitely took into consideration. So it's nice to know people, like it really is. And you've always been so helpful and so considerate just in general since I've known you. So,
well, we'll definitely talk more about it Friday when we do Friday the 13th, part 3.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
But until then, everybody, thank you so much for listening. As always, if you'd like to do us a favor and help us get out there more, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It would really help us. It helps to get other people to listen. We are also on every social media you can probably think of, including Threads and Blue Sky. We're not on TikTok, but maybe. I'm still maybe thinking of cracking that egg. We'll see. But anyway, we're the Fun with Horror podcast. You can find us. Thank you for listening. Stanley, I love you.
I love you, man.
Andrew, I love you wherever you are out there right now. Everybody else, I love you. And Stanley loves you, and we love you. And
we do.
Have a wonderful 4 days until our next episode, and goodbye.
Haley's tricked everyone.
All right, somebody time it. As soon as she lets it in, it cannot go for more than 90 seconds. Am I clear?
What happens after 90 seconds?
They'll want to stay.
And if you die while they're in you, they'll have you forever.